Well, for today's video I've lined up a few old pieces of crap legends from the Eastern Europe. And of course we will put them to the test, and of course we will make a tier list. Considering this to be a vacation from my eternal suffering, I've expected this video to be quite relaxing. But you know how it goes. Ja pierdolę. Suffering the undrivable variants, enduring the most painful understeer of my life, and struggle to put these cars to the test showed pretty fast. So buckle your ass, get some crofty and enjoy. And don't forget to subscribe for more Doomer content. Mods I've used can be found in the description. Right, let's see what we are working with today. Representing the Soviet Union, made from the scrap metal based or rather I say improved upon original Italian Fiat 124 and made out of broken dreams of poor subs in the Soviet Union, we have
the Vaz,
or more commonly known as Lada 1500. And as a backup, the Lada Riva Rural Edition. Representing good beer, pretty country, we have Skoda 130L, Skoda Felicia, Skoda Fabia, with the optional extra of fish yellow windows, and Skoda the Tank Octavia. Not gonna lie, that kinda sounds like a wrestler's name. Representing Poland, we have the legendary FSO Polonez and Malouch, which is sort of Italian, but the Poles were manufacturing it and consequently made it famous throughout Europe.
126 EL. Dobrze, że jesteś.
There is one thing I gotta be sure about.
Maluch.
Toddler.
Well, shit. But before we begin, a word of advice. You should join our brand new Discord server. That's right, the old dog cat has finally done it. So don't be shy and be a part of our wonderful community. It's free, just look in the description. Right, first we test the suspension, grip, power and build quality. Later we will be testing it all again, but at the racetrack. And finally there will be the notorious highway test. Let's start with the Ruskis, the Lada 1500. It was riveting from the get-go and it was clear that this car was Russian. It was dancing the jebane присядки. The suspension was good. The mud test. Yet again, it looked like the Lada is at home. Hill climb is where the problems began. The poor little thing tried to lump its heavy steel up the steep hill, resulting in overheating and... yeah, catching fire. This is fine. I also tried to get it up the other hill. That didn't go as planned either. Nope. Well, comrade, I've improved your design. This is what I call hatchback, or in our terms, hatch блять. Anyways, do you guys know what is the greatest enemy of a joyride? A quick and sudden end of it. The tree test. That's right, a crash test doing 50 km per hour or 30 miles per hour. Here we go. Yeah. Damn. Woo. Survivable? Maybe. Lada 1500 A tier. We are moving on to Lada Riva, the indestructible dumpster on wheels my grandpa actually owned, shortly after he had a stroke, probably from seeing his fuel consumption. Why? Why do I hear Soviet... Oh, no.
This test is a joke, young boy. Bring me vodka. I do this in my sleep. They are making fun of me, suka.
And now, the crash test. Don't get me wrong, I was not fearing for the car, I was fearing for the tree. Opachki. Oh, that would really hurt. The crash did snap the drive shaft, but in front wheel drive, the turning circle is fucked. It would not win any kind of beauty contest, but still pulling its back legs along. This is what happens when you do things simply and get inspired. S tier. Okay, moving along. The Skoda 130L is a legendary icon from the Eastern Europe. This piece of rust steel is legendary. If you ask your parents or grandparents from the Doomer Europe, they will defaults know about this piece of suka. Hell, your grandpa sure was drifting these bad mofos. Anyhow, suspension, good. Dirt, good. Hill climb, The crash test, yeah. Fuck! Damn. Well, shit, that was not good. It appears so that the poor little car was made out of Yabana velvet. The Skoda 8-tier, Skoda Felicia. Suspension, not great, not terrible. Steering, scary. And mud, not good, my friend. Power with off-road grip. That is tragic. The crash test, somehow satisfying. Ay. Although the Felicia liked hugging the tree a bit too much, in a sense it didn't want to let go of it, I guess we are stuck in the tree, it did pretty well. B tier. Next up, the legendary Fabia. This car right here is the pussy magnet of new era of Eastern Bloc. This car came as a testament, a statement of we, people of the East, could do for our working class heroes. In the early 2000s, it was awesome. People were mad and they are still mad. No matter how fast you are going, there is always a suicide junkie trying to overtake you in this paper-thin small piece of a car. Anyways, the suspension is visibly a lot stiffer. The ride is sportier, no surprises on the mud or the hill climb. The crash test was a formality for the exponent. Damn, but you would definitely survive. A tier. Time for the daddy. 1.9 TDI chunky chat of an Octavia. This car is a status report. You can afford to be somebody but not to brag about it. You can look at your life choices without regret. And you can barely hear your own thinking because all of the customer racket underneath the hood. Anyways, suspension, good. Mud, not really at home there. Hill, a bit too heavy for that. The crash test, medium good. Well, the damage has been done. A tier. Finally, we came to the poles. First off, the legendary Fiat 126. Well, let's see. A death trap if you collide with a big enough bug. But don't worry, with a structure like that, you won't go over 50 miles per hour. Even downhill. Short wheelbase meant that the suspension was terrifying. Grip on the mud is non-existent, hills are not even an option, as you, with your friends, have more horsepower combined than this lawnmower. And indeed, if you get it up to the crashing speed, pray to Swati Piotr that your forehead is not going to be the main impact area. What the fuck? S tier, I want one. Next up, the iconic FSO, Fabryka Samochodów Osobowych, or how I'd like to call it, fucking superb objects, the Polonez. I cannot even begin how this car represents the Polish spirit, in fighting for its eternal freedom and in drunkenness of the Italian designers. Look at this car. It looks like they started to drink the bottle at the front. It's like angels carved its nose. And as we go back, the bottle was progressively drunk, and it has ended right about here. The back is more or less a motto of that will do. Ja pierdolę. Anyhow, this icon needs to be celebrated. The suspension is definition of a comfort kurwa. Mud is no problem even with two-wheel drive. Hill climb not really powerful enough. The crash test, well, the metal was a bit soft. Overall, good. A tier. Let's do some racing. And to test it properly, I've prepared a little circuit. First up, go the Lada. And immediately, there were some issues. The understeer was... The acceleration was not great, and on the last corner... Drifting? I like a drifting car. We had our first car across the line. 139.09. Next up, the old Skoda. Here we go! Before I was suffering from the understeer. Now, there was a massive elephant shit ton of oversteer. But I was having fun. It's always better to have oversteer then understeer. And the time was set. Come on! Ah, damn it! This made me a little bit sad. Anyways, Octavia is up next and it can redeem the Skoda. Go! What the hell was that start? The story was pretty much the same like with the Lada, but a little bit heavier and a little bit more power. The legendary Skoda tried its dang hardest. Between big doses of understeer, we had some pretty interesting moments. And unlike the other cars, Octavia seemed to be pretty rugged. Anyways, we finally got to the finish. But I really like this car. For Poland, the freaking Super Ovulacja Polonez. 3, 2, 1, go! This little slimy devil tried to kill me. Let me tell you, I can handle cars, but this experience definitely unhandled me. As I stand here before you, understeer, oversteer, the full bunch. In the end, I gave it my all. And who would have guessed that it will be one of our own that will tip me back into my existential curse of suffering. In the end, we finally had our time, and it was very good. I was proud. Last but not least, the baby. Rocking a whopping 594cc R2 engine with unimaginable 23 horsepower. Wow! This puppy will be happy to move off the line. Go! Oh my Jesus! Oh no! That's right. It's obvious that the Poles would do something stupid to it. And here we are. In my Wondershare, I tried the engine swap Malo, which was undrivable. The original, I almost fell asleep watching The Frog. No, literally, it's called The Frog. Jabba. The crazy taxi Polish version, the bouncy wide body. Stop! And at the end, the experimental, which set the time of 1 minute 20 seconds, meaning it beat every car we had here so far. Well, there you have it, the fastest car in the Eastern Bloc. Ja pierdolę. But how will it fare on our last test? The highway survival. Firstly, I warmed up in a traditional Polish way, deleting the Mazda man in the process. Perfect. We were finally on the highway trying to figure out how are these cars we tested today in terms of high-speed safety. Lada, well... I don't think some vodka is going to cut this one, I'ma be honest. But how about them tuners, eh? The Lada is loved for its tunability. Well, let's try it again. As they say, a little speed never killed nobody. Shit! After reviewing the scrap metal I made, we witnessed some regular Peugeot activity. The Lada was dead. Next up, the Polonez. Also, the car will bend the full length if you hit it on the wrong spot. Time for the Skoda. Doing 180 kph, it cannot be good. Anyways, let me flip. Let's go again! Whee! Well, to be sure, let's have some of that Malo. You never know. Surely you cannot get killed when there is not enough speed. Am I right? Well, let me give you a word of advice, my friend. Do not text and drive even in this car. After driving for about 15 minutes, I got a message on my phone. And, well, the rest... What? Yeah. Ooh. That's right. The bonnet has eaten the driver. Don't text and drive, you schmucks. I see you, and if you keep doing it, I'm going to eat your nose. I swear. Anyways, nice seeing you. Bye bye.